Hello, I'm Linda Kozar, fellow author and member of ACFW, and you're here on the American Christian Fiction Writers Network. Our guest today is Kathleen Turner, CEO of the American Christian Fiction Writers, and she's going to share her vision with us. Let's get to it. So our guest today is Kathleen Turner. She's the CEO of American Christian Fiction Writers. But first, a few bullet points about her. She is a multiple Carol Award winner, a Rita nominee. She's a best-selling author of 100 plus books, and over 2 million copies of her books are in print in the U.S. and abroad. She is a Texas A&M graduate, and with the Aggie women, of course, and an Aggie mom, too. And she's a 10th generation Texan. She's a daughter of the American Republic, and she's a Texas DAR. But most importantly, she's a grandmother. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the ACFW studios, Kathleen.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so honored.
I'm so glad you're here too. So let's start at the beginning, because I heard from a few people, namely you and some others, that ACFW it was begat here in Texas, in
It
Houston.
was right here in Houston, Texas.
Tell us how
Uh,
that happened.
yeah, well, I mean, not everybody was from here, but we were a group of Christian authors who felt like we needed to get together because we just weren't being represented in the marketplace where there were other writers groups. Now, not that's not to say that we weren't welcomed. Of course we
Sure.
were. Diane Mills and I were at Romance Writers of America because that
Sure.
was the only place to learn romance back then in the late 90s. And many people were at different writers groups, but there was not an umbrella to cover the little fledgling tribe of Christian romance writers. So and I say we because I was sort of the one watching it happen because I'm member number 8, but only because a couple of other people didn't get their stuff done as quick as I did. But there were about 12, I guess,
Mm,
ladies, and
apostles.
yes, the ACFW apostles.
Mm,
Excuse me, and the Reg I'm not exactly clear on how all this happened, but Reg Forder, who still has American Christian Writers,
oh, yeah.
ACW,
Yeah.
agreed to kind of let us join their little band as a side group, as American Christian Writers, and so a side group of American Christian writers as American Christian. Back then, we were American Christian Romance Writers. And, there were, like I said, I think there were 12 of us, something like that. We had a treasurer, Diane Mills, who took all the money. And, funny story, it was actually, I think, at her credit union or something, like a side account that was especially
That's
for us
great.
because, it wasn't that much to it. There were 12 of us.
Sure.
And then we just sort of started, and from there, God just grabbed it. And I think by the time we got to our first conference in sorry, not St. Louis, in Kansas City,
Mhm.
maybe almost 2 years later at that point from when we were actually talking about it. We'd had a loop for a little while, and that was fun, but by the time we got to Kansas City, I think we were getting close to 300 members, which was pretty wild for us. We couldn't believe
Wow.
there were that many of us out there,
That is
which is funny to say now because we have over 3,000 all over the world. So,
wow.
apparently, there was more than 300 of us out there, and along the way, we did expand our horizons a little bit and change the name to American Christian Fiction Writers because we are not just romance writers anymore. But
Right. We need
a
room
lengthy
for coaches.
past, and it all started, pretty much here if you go by where the bank account was.
Yeah. So, where did you meet at first when you met?
Online, we had
Just
an
online.
online loop. Yeah, we had an online loop that we just all chatted on. I think we probably did because it was back in the day. This'll ring true to a few of you. We would get on the AOL Messenger
Oh, yeah.
our little groups,
Yeah.
things like that, but we didn't meet in public, but we did have a group that was meeting in public, and you could help me with that. The Words for the Journey. I'm not sure where that one came in with ACFW,
It didn't
but
it was a separate group, yeah.
but when did it come in? When did that group
Um,
start?
I wanna say around 2003 or 4
Okay.
when Sharon Watson
Yeah.
and I started it together, and,
Yes, that would make sense because we didn't have anything local. Our group ACFW RW back then didn't have anybody local. So
yeah,
we were going to local groups, all of us all
yeah,
over, the country at that point. Yours and Sharon's was the one that I went to
was
here in
local.
the Woodlands, Texas, north of Houston. But, then we sort of have grown beyond that, and now we actually have local chapters, but
Yeah,
that was the first thing that happened was
yeah,
we gathered and the loop, the online loop was really where we stayed in touch with each other for probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't have it in front of me, but Christine Linksweiler, if you're listening, I know you do. Christine Linksweiler is the keeper of all facts related to us.
he needs to
But
comment
yes, to
when this is on
exactly,
YouTube.
exa exactly. But no, we by the time it was so funny, by the time we got to our first conference, which was in Kansas City, and it was in Kansas City because Lynn Coleman, who was the president at the time,
Yes, Linda.
said, "We need to meet in the middle of the country." So she literally, like, took a pen and went, "There's the middle," and it was Kansas City. So yeah. And so we met in Kansas City, and the people in the hotel staff thought we were crazy because keep in mind, we've known each other at this point and been so like-minded and cheering for each other's victories. And, if something happened with a manuscript you didn't get interest by an agent or an editor, whatever, got some bad news.
Mhm,
We're all crying together for you. And then we get to Kansas City, and we mostly have not met each other. We have no
mhm.
idea what each other looks like because back then that's not what an email loop did. It
Yeah,
was literally printed,
yeah,
and we were running around looking at each other's name tags going, "Oh my gosh, it's you." And the
and this
hotel
was before filters
felt
on
great.
photos too.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So if there were photos out there, they were like your high school yearbook
It's like
because
yeah, the real deal.
so they thought we were crazy, but it was a lot of fun.
And how many went to the first conference?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I know that when we left, because I was actually the second treasurer, the first elected treasurer. Um, I think by that point, by the time I was working at that job, we had like 350 people. So I would guess we maybe had 80 to 100, if that much, at the first
Wow.
one. Probably not quite that much. I don't know that we had that big a percentage of our group there, but it was a good size. It was a good
Yeah.
size, and we just had so much fun figuring out who everybody was.
And then all the chapters added on. How many chapters do you have now?
Oh gosh, I need Joy
No,
Messenberg
no.
on here to give me that information. I think we are somewhere in the 20s in the number we have. We may have more than that now. I know we have Beyond the Borders, which is the one that's kind of a catch-all for anybody who is out there. Maybe they're overseas or they don't have one
Mhm.
nearby. And then we have local chapters
Yeah,
all over. We would
including
love
our own, right? Writers on the
yes.
Storm here in the
Our own
Woodlands.
yes,
Mhm.
our own here in the Houston area. We would love to see more in Texas because Texas
Yeah,
is a big state and we only have
it
1
is.
chapter.
Yes, we
So
need more
we would
people. Yeah,
yes,
step
yes,
up.
where are my Texans? But, um, and I was informed that there is not a chapter in New York. So another big state.
Oh my goodness.
Start rallying.
Okay.
But we've got all these chapters and they're doing such great work because they are reaching it's like a if you're in a massive church, but you have a small group, you don't feel like you're, alone in this journey. And that's sort of this a similar idea that we had as far as let's get folks together on a group level because as you know, because we were doing words
Yeah,
for the journey, we were already feeling that need to see each other once a month or,
yeah,
however often we were doing it. So,
Yeah, because
that's
writing is such a lone profession, and you're
yes,
alone most of the time, sitting in your chair, you know, trying to change positions so your neck doesn't stick, and and,
yes,
you wanna bounce things off of other writers, and you wanna
yes,
just and you want people of that same mind, like, I'm staring out the window, but I'm not, like, depressed, I'm just thinking of who to kill next, or whatever.
yes. I'd pay no attention to my Google search, right?
Yes.
Yes, like, Brandolyn Collins coined this term. There are writers, and then there are normals,
Yes.
and you can't always talk to normals
That's
about what
true.
you can talk with other writers about.
They don't get it.
On the other hand, you
Yeah.
shouldn't talk to other writers around
Mm.
normals if you're discussing,
Yes,
manhood.
the things we talk about, yeah. So I wanna talk a little bit, switch gears a little and talk a little about how you got started, and then maybe end this with sharing your vision for ACFW, in the years to come.
Well, I got started because of the flu. I had the
Wow.
I moved
Okay.
I just had finished a big move, and our house was not ready yet. It was still being built. So we were in an apartment. And I was in an apartment with 4 kids, a 3-bedroom
Mm.
apartment. And we just moved from like a 5-bedroom house with a big yard. 3 of those kids were boys, and 2 of those boys were teenagers. And then we all got the flu. So I was reading a lot of books. And I just kept reading these books and thinking, that's not how I would have ended it. I would have. And so
Uh-huh.
finally, when we got moved into the house, which was 3 or 4 weeks later or something like that, and my daughter was in preschool, she was the baby. We found a preschool for her, and she was in the preschool from 9 to 2:30 or something, 3 days a week. And those 3 days, I would go home and sit at my kitchen table with my Star Writer word processor. I still have it. Canon
Oh my
Star
gosh.
Writer. It's in the closet behind me. I will never get rid of this thing. It
Doesn't
was a
Janice have one of those too?
She probably does.
I
It's
think
a
so.
I bought it at the Office Max. It was in April of, like, 2000, probably straight up 2000, maybe before that. No, it had to be before that, like, the late '90s, but
Yeah.
anyway, it was a printer and a computer, well, a word processor all in one, and I would sit at my kitchen table and write, and I found that I was having to after the first time I was racing to get to the preschool, I would set a timer so I wouldn't forget to go pick up my 4-year-old
Well,
who's now
note to the
35,
new
but
writers. These were the days when you would mail in manuscripts, when
yes,
you would print them out and mail them in with,
and
self-addressed envelopes.
you would hope that you would not get them back.
No,
See,
you
but you
hope
had to send the postage to get it back.
yes, you did, yeah. Those were the days,
Mhm.
and they would mail you rejections too. I used to keep a file of those.
I still have mine. I have one that was so bad. We need to talk about worse rejections someday.
Oh,
Not on this not
okay.
on this one, but someday. Maybe that's a topic for the website,
Well,
but,
let me just
uh
ask what your favorite rejection food is.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I do. I do. I once received a rejection that was 1/4 of a sheet of paper. Like like they printed off 4 of them,
You weren't
and
worth
then
the
they just
whole.
used a paper cutter and cut them,
Oh,
and it said, "Dear blank, unfortunately, we will not be going forward with this manuscript at this time. Sincerely," and then it had the name of it was an agent printed at the bottom,
you
and the
weren't
blank
worthy of a whole
wasn't
sheet.
even filled in. So I
Oh
got a
gosh.
quarter of a page with no I still have it.
It's the worst, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
still out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She is still that agent is still out there, and
Well, you
I've
never
actually
forget.
met her. She
You
was
never forget.
mortified. She said, "I fired that intern." So I thought, "Did you?"
Really? Or was it you? Yeah.
No, I don't think a professional agent, and she is definitely one, would have done that, but that was the worst.
Oh, I don't know.
The most interesting, it's the best story.
My first agent, sent me copies of, the queries he sent out, and it was filled
Uh,
with mistakes, like he had been drinking or something. It was filled with typos, like 10 typos in a very tiny paragraph, and I thought, "Oh my god."
It's probably not for
Yeah,
me.
this isn't going anywhere.
No.
Yeah, but anyway, keep going, because you started in the secular first before you
I
started
did.
Christian.
I did. I went to Romance Writers of America because that's where I was actually at a Barnes and Noble and I was looking at these how to write books and it said, "Oh, how to write romance." I
Yeah,
picked it up. It was pink. It had, and in the back, it had, and it was a really good book. I think it's
yeah,
still in print. And in the back, it had all these the lists of where the local writers groups were for, yeah, and one of them was in Houston. Romance Writers of America. So I went to the Romance Writers of America meeting. It was the Northwest Houston chapter. If those of you who are local will know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
And if those of you who might be familiar, a little more familiar with the Romance Writers of America, both Ritas, they have the big Rita or
mhm.
they did when they were,
Yeah, it was a
um,
good
both
organization.
of them, Rita Clay Estrada and her mother. I think I'm saying that right. Gosh, you'll get letters. Um, but the two Ritas, mother and daughter, were in that chapter, and I learned so much about pacing, tension, plotting. It was fabulous.
Oh, yeah,
Um, it was missing the spiritual element for me,
right.
but it was the best education for a writer that I had had at that point and some of the best teachings that I've had since, and so I was really blessed that I ended up with that chapter because these ladies they really knew what they were doing, and not just those 2,
Oh,
but I was in that
yeah.
chapter for several years, for many years, actually, but that was my first writers group experience, and, I went in and I said, "Hi, I'm Kathleen, and I'm a writer." And it was like, "Oh my gosh, that must be what it's like when somebody, goes to one of these meetings where they unburden themselves and
Mhm.
then, get healing." I didn't get healed from it. I'm still, but it was just like, "Oh, these
Yeah,
people get it. They get me." And I
yeah,
think that's sort of the ACFW thing is we get you. If
yeah,
you're a writer, we get you.
yeah.
So
I mean, you're not
that's
published yet, but you're a writer. You know it.
no, yeah, exactly, and I wasn't published when I was in that group, and I learned so much. It was fabulous. I wasn't published when I started ACFW. Any publications that I've had, and there's been a few, it has all come after ACFW as
And what
part
was
of
your
being
first book? What was your first one? Your
my
first
first
baby?
one was I knew you were gonna ask this. It was 2000, and it was called Saving Grace. It was a novella, and, I had written 8 full-length books at that point, and none of them sold.
Mm.
And I told Diane Mills, "Hey, if you ever think of me if you ever are doing a proposal." So she called me one day and said, "Hey, I know that you are a 10th generation Texan. There's gotta be some Texas Rangers in your family." There aren't. "And you've gotta know a lot about Texas Ranger history." I didn't. Uh, so could you just like give me a paragraph? I'm doing this proposal for a novella collection.
Wow.
So yeah, and the catch was, could you get it to me like tomorrow? Of course I can. Of course I can.
Sure.
So I literally on that paragraph, which I got to her the next day, one paragraph synopsis, I sold my first book, and it was to Barber Publishing, and it published I believe it came out I forget if it came out in 2000 or 2001, but that was the first one. So after all that work, all those books, which were very valuable learning experiences,
Yeah.
I sold on a paragraph.
Do you still have I call those books that are waiting, I call those in vitro books. Like, it's like you're waiting for the fertilized eggs to
Yeah.
be implanted in a publishing house.
No, I have one of them, and it did get published almost 25 years later. It was, and it became The Pirate Bride. That one,
Awesome.
but in a totally different way. That I didn't realize when I wrote it all those years prior,
Yeah.
I started in the middle. So I had to go back and write up to the middle, and then I sold that book, and that was actually the first one that became, my first standalone bestseller. It was only 25 years in the making
Only,
or
but
however
that's
many
why it
long.
was so good. That's why it was
It
so
was
good
one of those
because of all that.
book of the heart,
Yeah,
books that we have that one of these days we're gonna publish it, but
yeah,
right now we're just gonna keep loving on it. That was
yeah,
it.
that's great. And then you kept on getting, you started getting more and more contracts after that.
Yeah, thanks
And
to ACFW.
yeah. But then, when you're on a deadline, tell me what that's like for you when you were on deadlines and you knew you had to get it done by a certain date and you weren't anywhere near finished.
Yeah, I would say that it's probably like a college all-nighter trying to study for finals.
Yeah.
It's about that much fun sometimes, but you do it. When I'm on a deadline, everything just sort of shifts into deadline mode, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about. We used to call it deadline dementia because you're not thinking about anything out
Yeah.
here if you can help it.
Yeah.
We had the crock pot chicken a lot. That's the one where you throw the frozen chicken breast and
Yeah.
the barbecue sauce into the crock pot, and everybody has sandwiches 8 hours later.
Oh,
Had
yeah.
a lot of that. Um, excuse me. It's a pressure that too many of us probably enjoy more than we wanna admit, because I think sometimes some of my best stuff comes out when I know that I cannot get up and walk around. I cannot go do something else no matter how much
Yeah.
I want to do it. And I think when you're under a deadline and you are forced to focus, there's something that comes out sometimes that's just, better maybe than it would have. It's not fun. It's
No.
definitely not fun.
No.
I've heard, James Scott Bell call it the boys in the basement. While you're while you're working and maybe stressing
Yeah.
or whatever you're doing, and you don't know what the next chapter is going to be like or things like that, the
Yeah.
boys in the basement are working on it, so once you get there, it's just flowing. I think Jim probably had a good theory with that.
And if you have time to write, sometimes all you write is just garbage. I feel like a monkey typing words in unintelligible
Yes.
words, and it's just not flowing, and then you delete it, you know? So, yeah,
Did you
I get the
ever
pressure.
did you ever do those writer's journey?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't okay, you know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
where she would do the morning pages,
Uh-huh.
and then I would be like, "This is a dumb morning page. This is a" so I never really felt like I got a lot out of it,
But some
but
people did. Some people did,
yes,
you know?
it's that and that's what I love is that there are so many different ways to write because oh my gosh, if we all wrote the same way, nobody really wants to write like I do, trust me.
Yeah, it's unique to all of us. Some people like writing when there's a lot of noise around. I can't
Yes.
stand it. I have to be in the quiet.
Yes. I mean, when I first started out, I could write under any kind of yeah, I mean, I had 4 kids
With
still at
4
home when I
kids, yeah.
started. Yeah, and the youngest was 4. So, but now, I mean, it's like my desk has to be clean, the laundry has to be done, everything's gotta be and music, no, none of that.
No, mm-mm.
I'm far too picky now, and I probably should probably try to get out of those habits because
But that's
prob
how that's what
uh-huh.
makes you comfy, you know?
Although at the same time, if I have to, if I took my laptop to the, coffee shop down the street or if I have to write, I can. I can sit in front of the TV while my husband's playing golf on his golf game and write that way as well. But, my preference, perfect pristine environment and lots of words.
Yes, no laundry
I
lurking
don't
in the
usually get
corner.
either.
Okay, so now we're running out of time. I would like you to share your vision for the American Christian fiction writers because 'cause we're all excited about, what's coming around the bend and things you have planned.
Um, I'm so excited. It was such a surprise, a wonderful, amazing surprise that I have ended up at the helm of this ship. But I'm thrilled. You know, I've been here since the beginning, like we said, and so I just love this organization. I love it. I believe in it. I know that without it, I would not have had the publishing career I've had. I wouldn't have a lot of the friends I have. It's just such a wonderful organization, and I hope to continue what Colleen Coble has done all these years, and those presidents who came before her, who just nurtured it and loved it. Um, I just want us to be a light to
Mhm.
those who want to learn. I want us to provide teaching, to provide not just those things because those are so important. You and I know sweet Martha Rogers,
Yeah.
and our dear Lena Nelson Dooley, who has gone to Jesus recently.
Yeah.
Some of those ladies who were with us from the beginning, and one of the things that they really um, taught me is that you never stop learning. And
Mm.
I want us to always be offering teaching. So we have lots of archives on our website for websites for members. We have all the chapters. I just want us to be able to continue with that and do new and different ways. We're exploring the YouTube channel. We've got so much coming up with social media. We're kind of looking maybe to find somebody who might be interested in leading us towards the book talk and TikTok and all of those things. I mean, I'm always open to folks who
Yeah.
are wanting to give us some new ideas. That part is fabulous. Conference, there's nothing that beats an in person conference because not only are we learning, but we're also we're networking, which
Yeah.
sounds very clinical, and it's not, because the best part about this is that there are these God instances that God will just put
Mhm.
two people together, and next thing you know, you've got an agent. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I had an agent
Yeah.
because somebody else, an editor, told my agent, shout out to Wendy Lawton, we've been around together more than my husband and I. Seriously, I've been with her longer
That's
than I've been
true.
with Robert.
That's true.
But, I mean, those are the kind of things that I really want us to encourage and to foster, but we're also reaching out to the readers because we've got Story Fest coming up again this year. We took a hiatus last year because we were celebrating our members, and the anniversary of our founding. So this year we're back. We've got some really cool stuff going on for the
Mhm.
readers because we are the writers, but who reads our books? The readers. And so, we've got Story Fest. The entire thing is going to be happening at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, the one with the ducks. I know, and
And
we've
I got
even
to
got
miss it. Oh, well.
I know, well, I'm so sorry you're gonna miss it. That's all right, we'll send you
It's
ducks.
for a grandbaby, sorry, who's being born
That
at
is
the
the
same time.
only reason.
Yes.
That's the excused absence of all
That's
excused
fine. I
absences,
get a
that or
hall
a wedding,
pass. I get a
that
pass.
or a wedding. 'Cause that's the only time that I missed a conference was 1 year.
Mhm.
And it was in 2010. It's the only one I've been to every one except that one.
Yeah.
That was the year I eloped to Hawaii. So,
Well,
weddings and babies,
you had a hall
weddings and
pass.
babies.
Okay.
I know. But the great thing about StoryFest is that this year we've got a whole new situation where we're going to equip and encourage our readers who want to learn more about influencing social media, how to help writers by writing reviews. I mean, there's just a whole cool set of things. Jamie Jo Wright and Pepper Basham and a team of folks are going to be working on that. We have some great early birds. Susie Mae Warren and Rachel Hogg
Yeah.
are going to be teaching. We've got,
Oh,
I know, we've got
mm,
such great teachings, and we've got the early. We just if you look at our website www.acfw.com
that's
and then go to the conference, you'll see what is happening. And I'm really excited about it. But what we're doing is we want our readers to know we love them. And that's going to be a part of our conference. So there you go. If you're a writer, attending the conference, you do have an opportunity to participate on the StoryFest side. And if you are a person who is interested in maybe taking your reading to the next level, well, here you go. You can come in on the StoryFest side. And I'm really excited because we have Karen Kingsbury who will be with us.
Yes.
I know, I'm so excited. We have someone every year that we name as our writer of the year, our influential, person who deserves that honor every year, and this year it is Karen Kingsbury, and we're very excited, so we'll have her with us on Saturday.
Oh, amazing.
She's gonna be speaking to us a little bit. So, yeah, we're reaching out to the community in the best ways we know how, but most of all, we're trying to make sure that everybody knows that no whether you are a beginner, and when I say a beginner, you think you might be interested in writing,
Yes.
or someone who's, you know, been around a long time and has a lot of books, there's something in ACFW for you, and
Mm.
there are people here for you. We love nothing better than to meet a new writer. And just watch out if we find out you're from the Houston area, because Linda and I will hunt you down and say,
Yeah.
"Come to our meeting. It's great.
Vulture
Local."
mode. I will haul you in.
I know. So we have all of this. We also have one more thing coming up that's going to be fun. It starts in September, and we are revamping our first 5 pages program
Mm.
contest, sorry, first 5 pages contest, and, there's gonna be more news about that on the website, but, we are opening the first 5 pages. Used to have a different name, that's the name now, and anyone, published or unpublished, can send in 5 pages for the contest and get a feedback from readers. So anyway, we're just really
Fun.
want people to know that we want them with us and that they are welcome and that we love that they're there. And that's ACFW to me. I don't intend to do crazy new things. I just intend to keep doing the good things we've always done.
Yeah.
Um, and if anybody has any suggestions, and I say this a lot, people kind of think I'm crazy. Email me. I'm easy to find. It's CEO@acfw.com. I will listen to your complaints, your ideas. It's my inbox and I pay attention to it because I care. Every person who thinks enough of us to join should be heard. And if you don't feel like you're being heard or you feel like something's too cliquish, whatever, please, 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 before you escape from us, let us know because we want a chance to let you know that we care and we hear. So
Well,
that's me in a
good.
heartbeat.
It's good. And ACFW writers are the friendliest, nicest people I've ever met. The
I agree.
camaraderie is instant. I mean, you could just click with people, because they all get you. They get
They do. They
you.
do. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I've never felt like I belonged as much as I do when I am amongst writers. So, how much more so in a setting where you just get to walk away from real life and hang out with writers for a few days. So fun.
Yeah.
Or at a local chapter for a few hours. That's fun too.
It's fun. It's like a writer spa for your mind.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes. You used to write ad copy for us.
Yeah. I love it. But
Yeah.
this has been delightful, and I hope
So
that
fun.
people will get to know you more just by hearing you talk about your new role in as CEO.
Uh,
But you've been a member since the beginning, so it's
I
nothing
have
new.
number
And
8.
yeah, and number 8 is great.
And
And
if you're in Memphis on August 27th
yeah.
through 29th, I think that's right. If 26th, if you're going to the early birds, find me. I want to say hi.
And follow the Peabody ducks into the building. Yeah.
Yes,
Because there are Peabody ducks, and you
there
must
are.
see them. Yes.
Too much.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing. This has been great. We'll have to have more conversations in the future. We'll touch on different topics,
Definitely.
maybe. I don't know who our next guest on the ACFW studio will be, but we'll be hearing about that soon.
Yes. Can't wait.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Linda.
much, Kathleen. Bye-bye.
Bye.